Hey guys, Mariana Trench Productions here, and you guessed it, today we're going to unbox the rarest Octonauts Fisher-Price toy ever, Min and the Chinese Giant Salamander. And yes, you're wondering why I have 6 boxes here. I'm only going to unbox one, and I did get these all for a very good price, so I'm happy that they're all here. And I can finally have this extremely rare toy. As a collector, I've got almost all the Fisher-Price toys. There are only a few that I don't have, and I'm lucky that I do have this one now. And I've got bunches of stuff back here around here that you can see that I will be comparing Min to and all the accessories. Now I'm just gonna move some of these Min boxes out of the way because we've got so many. Alright, so I'm gonna be opening this one and keeping this one in the box. I'll probably sell 4 out of the 6, keep 1 unboxing here. Now you can see more of this. Some of this you'll probably wonder why I have here, but you'll later see why. I've got some, Octo-Agents. This Min is featured in Above and Beyond. I've got Plastic Min and all the others from magazine, and various toy lines from 2015-16 as well, 17 I mean. Yeah, I did a lot of comparing with that sort of stuff in my Shellington and the Frogfish unboxing video. I did that recently. Hopefully you've seen that, but I will still be doing the same process. Let's get into it. First, we'll have a close-up look at the box. Now, there's so much to say, this video could well last over an hour. Min and the Chinese Giant Salamander in yellow, not bad. Warning 3+, don't have to go over that much. Color change map, yeah, you can tell by the rainbow sort of color there that this is going to be a color change sort of thing. You could also tell that from the Shellington and Frogfish one is the same sort of style. And the gut P playset as well, with the parrotfish, which I have there. Now, this is not actually looking a lot like Min. We'll go into that. You can see they used a 2D artwork here because I'm sure the animators hadn't actually started on season 5 and the episode with Min. They just got the drawing, so that doesn't look a lot like the Min today. I used to think Min was a boy when I first saw her drawings and stuff, and she does look like a boy here in the toy, but still, it's Min. Octonauts Explore, Rescue, Protect. As I said in the other videos, they used to keep it as one whole thing, but now they're separate. I preferred the one whole thing. You could keep it as one piece, but still not too bad. Got these nice protruding circle things, nice to feel over, and the peg holder, of course. And the bottom, nothing much to say except 2018, which was Shellington and the Frogfish as well. I think the Tweak and the Captain Barnacles ones were 2016 maybe, and then 2017, and then the Shellington and the Tunic were 2016 or even 2015, so even before that. The Scalyfoot Snail from a season 5 episode was a few years before the season. I don't know if they made the toy because of that episode or what. Maybe they'd already started the storyboards when season 4 was airing on CBeebies. I love how they do these creature card things. I've got, where'd it go? The parrotfish one from the Gut P, not very well cut out. It says as seen in season 5, the 5's cut off, which is annoying. They didn't put that on the Min box, but we never got season 5 in English properly with the Gut P. But it's still the same sort of process, the background. You can tell that the salamander is also the 2D art rather than the 3D animation that you can see in the episode. Rivers, estuaries. It's nice how they give these facts so you can know about them, especially when the episode's in Chinese, so you don't understand what they're saying. Well, I don't anyway. I don't speak Chinese, but I have picked up a few words from the episodes. Now this Korean writing stuff, they're on all of the boxes just from the batch, so can't see too much of the image there. But it's got this extra stick-on piece. I don't know if you can tell, that's been stuck on to avoid burns. Do not use water that's too hot above 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Now here in the UK we use degrees centigrade, so I'm guessing this batch was made for the US, although I don't know why there's all this Korean writing. I've heard that most of these were distributed to around Australia, Korea, and China or something, can't remember. Also available, barnacles, long arm squid, twig and blobfish. As we said, those were previous years, 2017 releases. I don't know why they didn't advertise the Shellington one on the Min one and the Min on the Shellington one. Doesn't make sense, the same year. They did the same year releases advertisement on those. Not much, just general information down here that they have on every box. Still that rainbow theme at the bottom. You can see the background here. It's like the Amazon murky river thing. I wish they had done more of, that sunset or sunrise thing they had in the episode at the very beginning, because that was really nice color gradient. And they've got these air holes here, just for condensation or something. Now I think that's pretty much it on the box. Now for the exciting part, the unboxing. Gotta be very careful here. Hopefully I can learn from this video. So far, I haven't seen anyone on YouTube or anywhere having an unboxing or review of Min, because it's so rare. This was just before Fisher-Price gave up on Octonauts. Gosh, I need to find a good starting point, forgive me for this. I mean, I've got quite a few other boxes I can keep packaged, but still, they're a breakaway. This corner is not looking nice at all. I can see them put this down. Ooh. Before we get to the exciting part, to build up the tension, yeah, the Amazon River thing. So it's pretty cool, but you couldn't see much of it when it was boxed up. That's taken some damage. It'll still look alright. You couldn't tell this was Min's though. Very nice. So, 2018. That's 6 years ago. Still holding alright. Color change map, that's still stuck on properly. If you're watching the Challenge on the Frogfish episode, that had come off. This hadn't, thankfully. Now, let's get them out. Last time when I got the Shellington one out, that was really horrible. Ooh, she's out. Hope I got a good one. I looked through all the boxes to make sure I got a really good one. Now, all these are new molds. I'll go into that later in the review. But none of this is reused like the Frogfish and the Shellington one set. Already looking, the Salamander's a lot longer than I'd anticipated. Min, Salamander. Come on, Min, don't fall. Backpack and a map. She did not actually have a backpack in the episode, but you can forgive Fisher-Price for that because the episode wasn't even animated yet, and she never actually had this electronic map as well. I just want to mention, I'm actually recording this on Chinese New Year, so 10th February 2024, of course. So, you know, Min from China on Chinese New Year. That's sort of a nice thing. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's look at Min first, because, you know, it's Min. Look up close. They haven't done much difference in the colour between that part and the other bits. It is definitely a whole new mould for the head at least, because it's got these extra three bits, and it is a slightly different shape to Quasi's, and of course this bit, that. But it does say on the back 2017 Mattel. I can compare it to this new mold as well. This is 2016, so they probably released them the year after they're produced. So of course, this was 2017. And this isn't really Min's actual colour. I mean, the side bits are, I suppose, pretty good, but the middle bit is meant to be a lot lighter. They've got most of her features right. She's got these two white bits, the white bits up there. However, she does not have her head bow thing, which is yellow and blue, and her flower. Even though in the thing, in 2D image, it does show her headband, so they decided not to do that. I don't know why. It would be nice if they showed it. Yeah, they made her mouth black as well for some reason, as well as the nose. I don't know why. Doesn't look the best, I suppose, but seeing as how they didn't have much at the time, they did pretty well. Tell me what you guys think about this. But the suit, the colouring, she doesn't actually have this. She's not like blue with these green things, as I'm sure you know. They didn't even bother making her hands the right colour or even the same shade as this. Didn't put that much effort into it, maybe. This satchel kind of thing like Shellington with the map on the side, it's just green, it's not even proper. The colouring's pretty close for this bluish colour, but I don't know what the green stuff is all about. Let's compare to what else we have. Now, I used to use this Quasi as a Min. I put a helmet on it, similar to this tune-up one over here, because, you know, it's quite similar with the ears, the green and all that. Now, you can tell her face is kind of wider, and yeah, the ears are different shapes. Her quite bigger, a bit bigger. She's got the white outline, which at least they did that right. The inner part of the ear is meant to be darker than the rest of the face. They didn't do that correctly, and it does show that on here. It doesn't look much like the 2D art anyways. It doesn't have her eyelashes. Don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, you can see they showed her dress properly there, so I don't know why they didn't do that very well on the toy here. Of course, she doesn't have the eye patch thing. And a hat. This is the only one with a smooth hat and Inkling smooth head, because all the Octonauts have hats. Tune-Up has the thing at the top. Harney's got this, except on the deep sea suits there's no hat as well. Calico Jack has a hat, of course. In terms of height, pretty similar. The legs are different mold as well. I'm pretty sure they're a bit boxier. I'll now compare it to the plastic Min that came in a UK magazine a few months ago. They've done this better. I mean, doesn't look that, the face doesn't look that good, I suppose, but they got more of the details right, with the eyelashes, the headband, the dress, and the map. But it's a lot lighter colour, and if they kind of mix these two colours together, they'd get the proper sort of colour of Min. I've got a magazine back here. Is Min hiding behind there? Yeah, you can see her there if you want to reference. This is just her map, which also came in the same magazine as this Min. I'll show that later. Yeah, now you can see Min up there. We'll compare it to some of the Octo-Agents now. I've got Pani here, and these two share an episode, the Atmospheric River. I think I mentioned that previously. Pani has these three things just like Min, although they're differently done. Yeah, Min does seem quite good quality. The head's a little looser than I'd want it to be, but the arms and legs are fine, I suppose. Just at the back, I'll show. She's got the tail there, bit of a paint smudge there, but not too bad. They don't like to put tails as extra pieces at the back. They just put them slightly indented on, like Pani's tail and his Octo-Watch, you can see there. Now, I used to use this as tracker, I don't know, the headgear and all that, before I got a plastic one just like Min in a couple months ago in a magazine set. But not much to say. These two haven't really been an episode together, I don't think, anyway. Calico Jack, my favourite agent. Be nice if these two had an episode together. But yeah, they've only they called this Quasi for some reason on the playset. I mean, I suppose you could think of it as Quasi. However, the hat's different to Quasi's hat, so why'd it be Quasi? The eye patch is on Quasi's side, but I'd have thought that they wouldn't want to reuse a mould. Although I don't know how they'd manage the hat for the mould then, because this is basically Calico Jack without the peg leg and the eye patch, and on the toy it says Quasi, so I don't know, I think it's meant to be Calico Jack, but not really sure because that was a long time ago they made that. We'll go and compare some of the packaging for now, and we'll go back to the other accessories. For the Shellington one, they used a coral reef at the back. As I said before, this is Amazon murky water. Back is pretty much the same except for a frogfish, and it's got 3D animation. And you can see these pieces are pretty much the same. They moved, because it's a separate pieces now, they moved the image more into the corner, so it'll be a smaller segment. Can't really remember much that I said in the Shellington and the frogfish video about this packaging, but I don't think I'll need to go over it too much. I'm sure you wouldn't be that interested. But yeah, just comparison, the boxes are slightly different shaped. This one's more curved on the side, and it shows a lot more of the other ones. I have all of those on there. I want to do reviews. I won't be able to do unboxings of all the other Octonauts toys that they have, because Min fell over, because I have them. It'll be nice if you guys want to see. I've already been asked to do like the Gupex, Octopod, Gupess maybe, can't remember, but I really need to do those. Hopefully to start monetizing on YouTube, because I've got 17k subscribers. Actually, I got that today as I'm recording this. And we'll move on to the salamander, why not? Now, just looking really close, he's got a really cute smile. Let me get him under there. Big eyes, two little nose things. Really like him. He's longer than I expected. I didn't expect the tail to be this protruding, because it's kind of covered at the bottom there with the Min, kind of show it like that, so you can't really see it. Quite good quality, thick. You can see the inside, the actual thickness of it, how far it goes. Got little gills, little feet. I love this release. Of course, as I said, it's a whole new mold and amazing creature. Now, they did release with the Octo-Ray in 2021. For some reason, Chinese Sturgeon and a Chinese Giant Salamander again, and these are never shown above and beyond, so I don't know why they even made these molds for that toy. because these are only shown in that Chinese Giant Salamander episode. They do say moose on there, so I don't know if they got the molds from Fisher-Price or something. I doubt it, but I'm not really an expert in this. But yeah, they use this Chinese sturgeon briefly when they're passing on the map to the Octonauts, but just wanted to bring him to show. And I think they obviously didn't do as good a job with this salamander than this one, because you can barely see the eyes. They're not even painted in. The mouth is, yeah, I suppose it looks a bit more like the one from the show with, the flaps here, the gills, and the long tail, except it's a lot smaller than the one in the show. The one in the show was really big compared to the Octonauts. Overall, I do like this one a lot more. The colouring, it's a bit like a peanut sort of colour, orangey yellow, pale colour, similar to Pani, except a bit more orangey. Not much to say about that. This is definitely quite yellowy. Similar to this thing. This didn't come with a gup end. I just added it on. It came from another set. Just suits the gup end, the yellow and the brown there. But I'll put them in there later. I don't know. She looks good in the gup end. She used it in the Snag Hotel episode in season 2 of Above and Beyond. Not much else to say on these. This one is a lot bigger, as I said. Nice bit on the tail there. Let's get the Salamander Gup, or Gup Speeder, the Gup G that was inspired by the Salamander. Pretty cool. Doesn't have much, I suppose. This image here of the Gup G is actually from the Chinese Giant Salamander episode, because it features all the Octonauts inside the Gup G, whereas the only real release of the Gup G in the Caves of Saskatoon didn't have barnacles and peso in there. You can see barnacles in there. That's obviously from the Chinese Giant Salamander episode. And only barnacles, quasi, and peso were in the Gup G in the Peninga Turtle episode. So you definitely stole it from there, even though it hasn't officially released in English. Now we can put this guy to the side. Love him. Might be one of my favourite of the entire pack. I'm not too happy with Min, just because it doesn't actually look like Min that much. But we'll move on to the backpack. And they've done quite a bit of detail, indenting 2 paintbrushes, a sort of compass or timer, and the backpack flaps, and the side flaps as well, and thing to hold stuff. I have brought a few extra accessories from various playsets to attach on there, and this thing that sticks into the backs of characters. Now, as I said earlier, Min doesn't actually have a backpack, but not that bad. It's a nice thing. It's a new mold. Of course, these smaller pieces don't actually have, they don't actually have the date stamps on them, what year. Pani does have a backpack, although they didn't actually give it to him. I don't want to stick this in too hard, because I tried earlier today, because I did have a look at these. Doesn't really go in well with this Moose Toys. Slightly small. I don't want to force it and then break something, because in my first ever Quasi I got with the Gup B playset, I don't know, I stuck something in there like a helmet, and there's that helmet piece, like this bit, stuck in there, and I can't get it out. It's really annoying. So I don't want to force it. It would be nice if it did go in though. Pani has a backpack. No one else does, I don't think. I mean, it's going to be cool to add on to others. I suppose I brought in some air tanks. I love how they make these air tanks. I love all these different accessories. Let me bring them all forward. Quite a few here. I didn't bring all of them, but let's add them in on. These can go to the side there for... Actually, no. Keep them there. Has Min had an air tank on ever? Not sure. I suppose the colour mix is nice, I suppose. Orange. There. Don't want to stress out the toy too much. That looks pretty cool as well. You can see the red coming through there. Are you able to do this? Yes. Oh. Her little things here. Don't let her head move. Booster pack. But let's go back to the backpack. Now, I'll start off with the thing that actually came with it. Yes, it does go on, and you can move it up, down, around, however you want. And it's nice to hear that, or nice to see that when you put it on, Min still stands, and it's not, the map isn't longer so that it bends forward or something. You can have it all the way down, and she can still, like, walk. but you know, you could just have an angle as well. It's quite kind of a big thing to have at the back, but I suppose it works. Don't fall. And yeah, you can even put other stuff because this is all Fisher Price. So Peso's medical bag, Shellington's magnifying glass, although that's a bit tight fit because the handles are small, and quasi spyglass as well. Could be like the map holder, so that would be nice to, you know, keep on there, I suppose, or just have Min hold it. Let's get that out of there. Let's move on to the map. Now, Min doesn't have this, as I said before, but it's still pretty cool that they did this. It is a new mold, even though they released something very similar with the Gut P that I did bring here, except this one doesn't really have a handle. It just has these two things to stick into the Gut P, or even the Gut M. You can do that. And this one is a bit bigger, but because it's translucent, it's a bit thinner material, so not much of a fan of this one compared to this one, especially when it's got these different buttons. They've used this sort of thing. It's very familiar. I can't remember where exactly. They've used this sort of iPad kind of thing with the different buttons on the side and stuff. I really can't remember, but see, it's got this textured swirls and stuff, just like a map for Min. You can faintly see an Octo-Alert. That does come in more clearly when you put it in warm water or just a warm environment. Let me get the box back, because use warm water to reveal Octo Badge and the rainbow color change, I remember. So, and it does say on the box color change map. That's nice to see. If they just, you know, left it, didn't tell you. On the Shellington one, it didn't really show the color change as well. I don't know the different colors of Shellington, but it's just really light blue. I wish this was a bit more fainter, and then when it was warmer, it showed a lot more, you know, more of a difference. On the back, nothing much, just sort of a bit of a gap, and then 2017 metal as well, because this is a new mold. It's kind of shiny. It's very shiny and smooth on this handle. I like it, I suppose. Not much else like it. Anyways, I've got a few more stuff to compare to. I do have the other sets. The only other set from Season 5, well, a figure pack, rather than the Gups, because, like, the Gup G was released. Got the Gup G here. Can't really show it. I can pop it in, I suppose. I didn't really like that Gup G. I know it's cool for speeders and all, but I preferred more realistic to the show. But yeah, the Gups, sometimes they release them a lot earlier than the season, and you didn't know they're going to be in the season, like the Gup R as well. Wasn't really happy about that one, even though it's my favourite Gup. Toy wasn't very good. Let's condense some of this stuff. Add on her backpack and the map. And you've got your 2 Season 5 packs, the Scalyfoot Snail and the Chinese Giant Salamander, which is nice to see. Now, I should do this like I did before with the Shellington suit. I will put this on a radiator and see how it turns out. I'm gonna show this here, and I'll be back soon with it warmed up. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know how good this looks. It didn't work very well. Same thing happened last time with the Shellington. I'm gonna, after this video, put it back on and try again and see if it works better. Then I'll add some images into it. But for now, I'll put that to the side. Definitely picks up a lot of heat. Anyway, I did bring the panda from the same Octo-Ray playset. Very heavy, well made. The only thing good about Moose Toys, I'd say, is the animals they make. They're good quality. Otherwise, the characters, they don't make them very well, to be honest. So this was from the same year, 2018, just before they stopped. Yeah, so these 2 packs, they really should have put them together on the back of the boxes, but for some reason they didn't. Let's do the Gup M first. Let's see how she looks in here. She did look pretty well when I put her in here before. Arms up. Arms are a little stiff. Nothing. She's going to have to take off her backpack. Just hoping that wouldn't be the case, but there you go. There's Min in the Gup M. Doesn't look too bad. Guphem looks quite big compared to her, to be honest. Yeah, I love how this Guphem can roll about. It's really cool. I love these big wheels in the gups. Now we can get this out of the way. Gup P. Now I didn't bring this to put Min in, although we can compare. Oh, almost dropped her. The blue is very similar to the other parts of the Gup P. You know, the same sort of colour theme, green and blue. I can move that back now. And yes, as I said about the map, I brought that. This is the exact same one that was in the Chinese Giant Salamander. So I don't know why they're releasing all this merchandise from that episode, which has never even aired in English yet. Yeah, it'd be nicer if they put this map, something from the actual episode, on here. But of course it wasn't animated. They released it a bit too early. Season 5 was delayed a lot. Let's bring in the big one. Gup G. I did put inside a Gup A from magazine that would fit. Gup Speeds would also fit, of course, because that's what this was made for. This is the biggest version of the Gup A that can fit inside. Pretty cool. Let's just get that out of there. Didn't fit with the headlight on. I love this version that came in, again, magazines. Yeah, the shade of brown, or maybe crimson you could call it, is similar to Min again. Min doesn't look too bad in the Gup G, I suppose. It says somewhere, yeah, here, her favourite vehicle is the Gup G. I don't know how that came about, especially if, you know, fans of the show, or just, you know, not very knowing fans that don't know about Season 5 in Chinese, they just watch what's out there on, like, you know, Netflix or CPVs or whatever. They're like, what's the Gup G? It's been shown in, you know, that one movie and that one episode, but Min's never been there. They should really release Season 5 soon, and I'm 99% sure it's dubbed. I just don't know why they're waiting to release it. Maybe they'll wait till after Above and Beyond's finished everything. I'm just going to declutter and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I took a few of the things away, and I just wanted to mention, please tell me in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, if you've had fun watching it and all that. It's nice to hear, and be honest, don't just say it's nice, mean it, you know. And I, yeah, of course, brought Inkling here because he's the center of this. He's the one who knew Min a very long time ago. Oh, and also, Min has a sister who was in Journey to China, a new series that's only in China. So now I can use this as Min and this as her sister, because they look almost the same, except Min's sister's got pinkier clothes and all that, and 2 of the side fluff things instead of 3. But I think that's pretty much it for the review. I, again, really hope you enjoy this. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Can't wait for the day this episode and the rest of the season comes out in English. It's gonna be a great day. I remember when the first 5 episodes came out in English. Anyways, that is pretty much it for the review, and this has been a lot of fun. If I forget anything, I'll just add on to the video, but if not, I want to say I give this whole playset a rating of, I'd say, 8 out of 10. Considering they didn't have much information on Min at the time, they didn't do badly, but even with the 2D art, they could have done a dress better, and, you know, the colours, her arms properly. The Salamander, I love, amazing job on him, or her. It was a him in the episode. The map, not too bad, although she didn't have that. Backpack, I actually do love, pretty cool. And so yeah, that's why I give it 8 out of 10. It's still a very amazing playset, especially because it's rare. That's it for me, Mariana Trench Productions, signing out.